Precious. Good morning, coder friends. For today's video, we are going to do our Code With Me episode 2. This is a series that you are going to code with me as I work, and then you are, I hope that you like it, because the first episode that we did, a lot of you like it and requested for more. So let's do it. Okay, I have an encounter here. There are times that I work on different projects that there are some codes that risk adjust and at some area and risk adjust and does not risk adjust in some areas. So I'm on a special project right now, and there are some codes that are not reportable. But for today, let's start with this encounter. Let's start with our first encounter. Let's go to the assessment. I can see here that there are codes. I can see here that there are codes that are reportable in some projects and not reportable for my current project right now. So let's find those codes that are reportable. So this patient has chronic hepatitis B. So to find that code, let's go to, if you have a book, you can follow along with me. So let's just type hepatitis, and then it is B, and then it is chronic. So the code for that is B18.1. Let's read more. Okay, we have another encounter. So this is just a very short encounter here. And I can see that from the assessment, the patient has AFib. And this AFib is unspecified. And the patient is currently on Eliquis, a medication for arrhythmias. So to find atrial fibrillation and specified, you just type fibrillation and then atrial. There are different types of AFib, so this one is actually unspecified. So the code for that is I48.91, and that's it. Let's read more. The patient has other conditions, but they are not reportable on this project. Okay, that's it for this encounter. Alright, we have another encounter, and this is a cancer encounter. But as I am reading the assessment, it says that the patient has a breast cancer, but the patient also underwent lumpectomy, left breast lumpectomy, and also had been treated with surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy. And on the medication list, there are no breast cancer meds to support that the breast cancer is still active. So that cancer and the assessment will not be reported because, again, it has been treated with surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy. So we will not report that code. Let's go to the next one. This is a very short encounter, and yes, it's the same. There's no reportable codes or conditions in this encounter. Okay, we have another encounter here. And let's read from the assessment first. Okay. Abdominal pain, pelvic pain. Those do not risk adjust, so we do not code them. Let's continue reading some current part of the chart. Okay. The patient has bronchiectasis. So to code that, just type bronchiectasis, and that will lead you to the code for J47.9. Alright, this is a short encounter. This is a small encounter, so let's code all of them. Alright, let's find some conditions that are reportable. Let's go first to the assessment. Okay, in the assessment we have Zika syndrome with keratoconjunctivitis. Okay, let's find a code for that. Let's have syndrome and then Zika. And then with keratoconjunctivitis, and the code for that is M35.01, and that is reportable. Let's read more about this patient. Anxiety, insomnia, we do not report that. Okay, let's read more. Okay, the patient also has asthma. What else? Okay, those are the two conditions we can report. We can report the asthma and the Zika syndrome with keratoconjunctivitis. Right, next is the same patient. Let's complete this chart. Go to the assessment. Arm paresthesia, that does not risk adjust. Okay, what else? Let's find more about this patient. Okay, yeah, the same. The patient has asthma. For asthma, the code is J45909, asthma unspecified. You just index asthma from the alphabetic index, and then it will confirm that to the tabular list, and that will give you J45909. Let's find other conditions. Okay, there's no other condition except for asthma. Let's continue. And that's it for the whole chart. We only have 2 encounters. Let's move on to another chart. Okay, what do we have in here? Neurosyphilis. Let's try to code that. That does not risk adjust. We have chronic viral hepatitis C, and the code for that is B18.2. If you want to index that, try from search from the alphabetic index hepatitis, and then C, and then chronic. That will give you a code for B18.2. Do we have other conditions written here? That's it. We only have one reportable condition. Counter. Okay, the same thing, chronic viral hepatitis C, and that is B18.2. Do we have other codes to report? There's none. So let's go and move to another encounter. Alright, in the assessment it's the same thing, chronic viral hepatitis C, and again that is B18.2. Let's read more if we can find other reportable conditions that, risk adjust. There's none. Let's see one more time. And we are going on to our last encounter for this chart. And it is the same. We have the same condition, but chronic viral hepatitis C, and that's the only reportable condition for this whole chart. Alright, we're done on that one. Let's move on to another encounter, another chart. So what is the difference between a chart and an encounter? Chart is composed of different encounters. So a chart might have 5 encounters, 1 encounter, or something like that. So I have here a chart, and let's count how many encounters. 1, 2, 3. There are 4 encounters in this chart. Let's start. Okay, let's start inputting the information we needed. Okay, alright, let's start finding conditions that are reportable. Let's go first to the assessment. Alright, I can see here hypothyroidism. That is not a reportable condition on the project that I'm currently working on. My third encounter seems like a copy or a duplicate of my second encounter. So I have to make sure that it is certainly a duplicate, so I can skip it. Yes, it is a duplicate. So let's skip that. Let's go to the next one. Okay, the patient has rheumatoid arthritis. What else? And she's taking methotrexate to help relieve with some of the symptoms. What else can you find here? Okay, this time the rheumatoid arthritis in the assessment is unspecified, but when you go to the problem list, it is specified, and the specificity is multiple sites without organ or system involvement. So to code that, you can get that condition, you can place that from the assessment, and then just get the specificity from the problem list. So that's more specific. So let's find that, how to index that properly. Okay, so in assessment, it is rheumatoid arthritis and specified. In problem list, it's rheumatoid arthritis with rheumatoid factor of multiple sites without organ systems involvement. So we are going to index that to get the correct or the most specific code to report. With that, go index arthritis, rheumatoid. It has rheumatoid factor. It's seropositive, specified, and then multiple sites, without organ involvement. And our code for that is MO5.79. Rheumatoid arthritis with rheumatoid factor of multiple sites without organ or systems involvement is MO579. What else? That's it. That's the only code to be reported in this encounter. A short encounter, a small encounter here. And let's code the conditions of this patient. Let's go. So the patient has abdominal pain. Let's go to the assessment. Laryngitis. Does that risk adjust? I don't think so. Is that reportable? I don't think so. Yes, it is not. Okay, let's find more. Let's go read more about this patient. So the patient has asthma, bipolar, and diabetes. For asthma, that is J45909. For diabetes, that's E11.9, and for bipolar, that is F31.9. These are all unspecified. So let's see. The asthma is under medication. Diabetes is, the patient is not under medication for diabetes. Okay, how about bipolar? Let's see what we have here. Sumatriptan or Imitrex. Does this support our... No, it does not. Let's find a medication that supports our bipolar disorder condition. So far, there's no medication that supports bipolar here. Let's find one more. Let's try other medication. Nope. Okay, let's find other stuff that could support this condition. Alright, so there's nothing to support bipolar and diabetes, but these are conditions reportable in my project, in my current project right now.